All right, year one. Today, what you will need is your drawing stuff and a piece of paper and your hand. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be tracing around our hand. So pencils are better for this activity unless your mum is okay with you getting pen in between your fingers. Pencils that I think better for today. So you need to go grab those things and come back. All right, year one. So I've got my coloured bits and bobs, my grey lead, some pieces of paper. Now I'm going to do a couple of these just to show you some different ways you can do it, but you only need to do one. Okay, so I'm going to start by tracing my hand. So I've got one really simple one where I just put my hand down straight like that. I traced it with grey lead, and then I went over the top of it with texture just to make it really strong and black. I'm going to start with that one. And then I'm going to think about some different ways that I can position my hands to trace it. So I'm going to try one. It's kind of like a thumbs up. All right, I'm going to trace around it with my grey lead. Exact same way. And at the bottom here, I'm just going to close it. Interesting. You're probably thinking, Miss Emily, what on earth are you going to do with these? Well, do you remember in prep how we talked about oopses? We are going to turn these little hands into artworks. That's my second one. And one more. What else can I do? Let's do something a bit weird. All right. I'm going to trace around it. So when you're turning these into something interesting, into an artwork, you don't have to keep your page the way you started with it. You can flip it around, you can do whatever you want with it. I like tracing around it with the black texture. I just find it easier for me to be able to tell kind of what I can do with it. All right, so I already actually have a wonderful idea for this one. Maybe. And this one. Okay, I'm going to start with this one, I think, and then I'm going to come back and show you the other two later. Okay, I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking it's a snail, right? So I'm going to draw a little tail for it. This is going to be its little eyes, and then it's going to have a big shell. I kind of like this pattern at the top for the shell where my thumbs were. I'm going to keep that part for sure. All right, so here's my little snail. I'm going to give it some ground. Maybe I'm going to stick a flower in here as well. This is a good opportunity to use lots of different kinds of lines and shapes like we have been. And then I'm going to colour this in. I was going to use textures, but maybe I will use pencils. Maybe I'll use a little bit of each. All right, I'm getting my pencils out. All right, so I'm going to start with my flowers. Yeah, I think I want pencil. I just find pencil a bit quicker and I find it a bit nicer, and I feel like it doesn't mix with my black texture as much. And I really like those black texture lines. All right, easy peasy. Gonna do a purple flower over here. Maybe I'll go back and add some patterns and stuff with my texture later, like we did with the robots. It's an idea. I like that. I like that a lot. Just starting on the easy bit. I think the snail's going to be my interesting one. I kind of feel like I need to do him brown, but I feel like I want to do something more exciting than that. Like his body brown. Maybe I can do his body yellow. And I'll do the ground brown. And I'm trying to like fill up my whole page and make it interesting too, but I'm also trying to do it kind of quick so you guys can get started. All right, ground. Ooh, I thought this was brown. It's not. I've got my glasses on. Can't believe I didn't see that. It says it's called bark. So maybe it's a really, really, really dark brown. I wanted it to be more brown than that. All right, let's try this one. It's called Copper Beach. That's better. So if you make a mistake like I just did, there's lots of things you can do to fix it. This is like a lot like doing our oopses last year. Oh yeah, I like that. And maybe I will make my little snail this color too. And a little bit of yellow. So you can layer up pencils too and change their colors. It's one of my favorite things about pencils. You can do so much more with them than you think. All right, now he's going to get an interesting shell. Let's do warm colors, I think. All right. What am I going to do? Remember, you can do yours however you like. This is just one way of doing things, how I'm doing it. And just because that's how I'm doing it doesn't mean it's the right way or the only way. This is art. You got to do what you enjoy and what you want to do sometimes. Sometimes you got to listen to Miss Emily, but sometimes you get to be creative and explore and try new things, just like with this one. Do some dots. Nice. And then I'm going to grab some colored pencil and I'm going to do that over the top. So he's got a really colorful, bright shell. Almost done. A little bit more, a little bit more. And just my pink. Voila, my little snail. All right, I'm gonna have a go with some of the other ones. So I've got my snail. I haven't coloured in the other two yet. I'm going to do that later. But I've got my hand snail, my hand little chicken, and this one's a bit of a stretch. This is my little elephant. How funny that I managed to turn all of them into animals. Who would have thought? All right, your turn. All right, Year 1, I really hope that you enjoyed turning your hands into artworks today. And I'll see you next time.